The summer of 1518 in Strasbourg was not merely hot, it was a kiln, baking the very stones of the city. For years, a pall of despair had hung over the region, a silent, grinding misery born of failed harvests and a relentless chill known now as the Little Ice Age. The people were hungry, their bodies weakened, their spirits stretched thin. It was onto this stage in the Fishmark Square that a peculiar horror made its entrance. It began not with a cry, but with a rhythm. The relentless, shuffling scrape of a single pair of shoes on sun-baked cobblestones. The dancer was a woman named Frau Trophäa. History has left us only her name, a ghost in the civic ledgers. But on that day in mid-July, she became the epicenter of a mystery. She danced not with joy, but with a frantic, desperate energy. Her eyes were likely wide with a terror that mirrored the confusion of those who watched. She danced for hours, for days, her feet bleeding, her body buckling with exhaustion, only to find herself compelled to rise and continue, a puppet on an invisible string. The city authorities, a council of guild masters and merchants, were perplexed. Strasbourg was an imperial free city, a beacon of commerce and reason. Yet they governed a population that saw the hand of God or the devil in every blight. Their first response was not medical, but spiritual. Believing she was struck by a curse from Saint Vitus, a saint known both for causing and curing a dancing mania, they sent Trophäa on a pilgrimage to his mountain shrine. It was a logical act for a world where illness was divine punishment. But it was too little, too late. The sight of Trophäa's suffering had planted a seed. Before she even returned, the affliction spread, a social contagion moving through a population primed for breakdown. 30, then 50, then over 100 people, men, women, children from all walks of life, were seized by the same irresistible compulsion. The city's squares filled with a ghastly ballet, a cacophony of gasps and frantic motion under the punishing sun. Confronted with this growing crisis, the council turned to the best science of their age, the theory of the four humors. After consultation with their physicians, they made a fateful diagnosis. The dancers were suffering from an overheated brain, a surfeit of hot blood, and so they prescribed a cure that seems to us a surreal and monstrous paradox: more dancing. The logic was that the victims must dance the fever out of their blood. What followed was one of history's most tragic public health interventions. The council did not just allow the dancing, they actively facilitated it. They commissioned a massive wooden stage in the horse market. They hired professional pipers and drummers to provide a relentless, driving rhythm. They even paid strong men to hold the dancers upright, ensuring the cure could continue unabated. The city treasury, in a grim irony, footed the bill for the spectacle of suffering. The result was catastrophic. The sanctioned event did not cure the mania, it validated it. The music in the public stage created a powerful feedback loop, drawing in more of the susceptible and driving the afflicted to new extremes. The dancers, pushed beyond human endurance, began to perish. Chroniclers like the physician Paracelsus, who later studied the event, reported deaths from heart failure, stroke, and sheer exhaustion. As many as 15 souls a day succumbing on the very stage meant for their salvation. Within a matter of weeks, the town square was not a place of healing, but a charnel ground. The council was forced to face the horrifying truth. Their rational scientific cure was a death sentence. In a stark reversal, they shut down the music, dismantled the stages, and silenced the drums. The diagnosis shifted once more, from a natural disease back to a supernatural scourge. Their final desperate act was one of collective penance. They outlawed gambling and public dancing citywide and led the remaining afflicted on a solemn procession to the shrine of Saint Vitus. The victims were given red shoes, anointed with holy oil, and prayed over. It was a silent admission that their human understanding had failed, and only divine intervention could end the nightmare. The plague eventually faded, but the questions remain. What really happened in Strasbourg? The leading modern explanation is mass psychogenic illness, a powerful physical manifestation of psychological distress. Imagine the collective psyche of a community, burdened by famine, disease, and the fear of damnation, finally finding a release valve in this shared, hysterical outburst. The dancing was a language of anguish spoken by the body when the mind could no longer cope. Another theory points to a physical trigger: ergot poisoning. Ergot is a fungus that grows on damp rye, the staple grain of the region. When ingested, it can cause convulsions, spasms, and visions, not unlike those induced by LSD. It is plausible that a bread-borne toxin initiated the bizarre behavior in some, which then spread psychologically through a terrified population. Yet this theory is debated, as the classic symptoms of severe ergotism include gangrene, which goes unmentioned in the accounts. The truth likely lies in a perfect storm: the physiological stress of malnutrition, the possible trigger of a toxin, and the overwhelming psychological terror of the age converge to create a vulnerability unlike any other. The dancing plague of 1518 is more than a historical oddity. It is a profound lesson. It teaches us that the line between mind and body is fragile, and that the fears of a society can become a physical force. The dancers of Strasbourg were not possessed by a demon. They were consumed by the palpable despair of their time, their bodies becoming a living, suffering testament to the price of collective trauma. The echo of their frantic steps is a reminder that history is written not only in treaties and battles, but in the silent, desperate language of human suffering.